Everybody got their...
We're live? Okay, we're live?
We live right now? Oh, well, let's just go there. Hey, guys, good to see y'all. TMTU back in the building.
TMTU.
Hey, we're about to get Betty on these roles for a husband.
Yep.
Hubby, let's go.
Hey.
We in there?
We in there.
TMTU.
TMTU.
What's good? What's good? So good to see y'all again.
Yep.
Hey, 2 weeks later instead of a month later, huh?
Man,
Yeah.
1 week later.
Oh, it's 1 week later.
just
Ain't
here last
nobody
Tuesday.
tell me nothing.
We was just here
Real
on the
talk.
24th.
All right,
We're back.
well, hey, we're back. Before you do anything like this, subscribe to this channel, share this, so that way you don't miss any segments, and you get some good content about how to act with your spouse. Real talk. Your boo, your babe. Hey, babe, you got somebody on the other side.
Yeah.
This dude. All right. Jesus, help me.
We said let nothing come in between us, not even our kids. So he had to be on the side of us.
Yeah.
He can't be in between us.
Facts, right
Because
there.
me made he. So yeah. So this is our son, Keenan Cooper.
Hello.
Our newly graduated from San Francisco State son, Keenan Cooper.
Let's go. Congrats on that. Yeah.
Looking for a job, Keenan Cooper.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
All right.
Yeah.
Through my son.
Reverend Dr. Esquire Extraordinaire.
That's what it's gonna be. That's in the name of Jesus.
That's him right there.
Yeah. So Keenan and I were having a conversation this past Sunday, and I was like, Keenan, I know you're not a husband yet, but but he's looking to be a husband soon, so he's gonna be off the market soon, ladies. So I was like, would you come on Marriage Tune Up with me and Dad and just discuss things, about the husband and what do you want in a wife as a husband to be soon? Okay, so that's why we invited him on here today.
Right.
So welcome Keenan Amatio Cooper to the show.
That cat. Give it all up. Huh?
Right. I mean, all my businesses out there, whole government name,
Yes.
everything, next steps, plans.
Yes, all of that.
I'm happy to be here, though.
Well, thank you so much for coming to your mom and your daddy. So, listen. So last month was June. June was Men's Mental Health Month. Yeah. So we talked about last Tuesday, the 24th of June. We talked about the 5 roles of a husband, and so not the 5 roles, but the roles of a husband, because there were more than 5 roles for a husband. So we said we would come back. We weren't able to finish all those roles. Right. So we said we would come back this week and we would finish that up and wrap that up. But again, so interesting enough, I was having a conversation on Sunday with a couple of my family members, and Keenan was a part of this conversation as well. And we were talking about how I jumped on my girlfriend's podcast last Tuesday after we wrapped up here. We jumped on her to the Mrs. His podcast, Nisha Elliott. We jumped on her podcast, and they were talking about what it is to be soft. So we're gonna continue with talking about the roles of a husband this week, and then we're gonna wrap that up, and then we're gonna jump into what it is to be soft. Okay. So we're gonna
not soft like a sucker.
Yes, but to be soft, and I'll tell you what that means when we get there. But right now, let's do a quick wrap up. Let's do a quick recap. That is of what we learned last week. Okay, we learned that first that the husband is a leader. We learned that he is the role that he must play the role of being a leader. The husband must be a leader. So to be a leader, the husband must be proactive. He must pursue God. He must pastor his home, and he must be a protector. Okay. Again, to be a leader, he must be proactive. He must pursue God. He must pastor his home, and he must be a protector.
And remember, we actually said number 2 should be number 1.
Yes. Number two should be number 1. So he should pursue God first, right?
Pursue God, homies.
Pursue God.
Yeah.
So what you we got the young buck on here. What you think about that? What you think about that?
I think it's wise. I think it's wise. I think when we talk about the biblical attributes that make a husband, and for me, like we said, I'm actively pursuing that, and I think that when you are pursuing something, there has to be certain preparation that has to go into it. You want to go to the NBA, you got to practice. You
Right.
wanna become a lawyer, you got to take the bar. You know, so there are all these things in every facet of life. Before you obtain something, you must practice for it, right? So when we come back and we're talking about becoming a husband, it is literally a becoming. It is something that you must do, something that you must practice at, gearing up for. And I think the four points that we have on what a leader is, I think all of those are very scripture-based things that are just healthy for the man to continue pursuing even as he becomes a husband.
Right.
Right.
I love it. I love
Right.
it.
So be proactive. So be proactive. Pursue God. Pastor his home, and be a protector.
But let me question this out. What did you guys have under be proactive? What does that mean?
I think that he must be proactive. He must not wait, not just wait to respond to things. He should be proactive in leading his family.
Hey, it's kind of like how we've been
good
trying to
question.
train you guys. Hey, so look, matter of fact, I said, hey man, yeah, we walk in, simple things. We walk in, we see the trash is full. Be proactive and take it out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey, we see her car is dirty. Be proactive and wash it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we hear something. Be proactive and go downstairs and check. Not well, you know. So I'll check it. You know what I'm saying? Those, be proactive. So that's the
Makes
thought
sense?
on it.
Yeah, see a need, fulfill a need.
See a need, fulfill a need. Exactly.
I love it.
Okay, the next role we talked about was the husband is the priest of the home. The husband must be the priest of the home. One of the things we said was that he should just not take his family to church. He should take faith to his family.
Yeah, I love that.
So not just take your family to church, but take faith to your family.
Somebody said, "Hey, Keenan."
That is beautiful.
What do you think about that?
Hello.
Yeah.
I think that's fire.
Take faith to your family, not just take your family to church, but take faith to your family.
Because I think that oftentimes, especially in our generation, I think that becoming Christian is something of just like, it is just a label that we take on, but it's not something that we actually act out, you know? So it's like you say and you profess Christianity, but it's not something that you are pursuing and acting in. So when we're talking about taking faith to your family, my pastor Jerry Flowers always talks about, as a husband, it's not just whatever you desire for your family should be what you make an example of for your family.
Right.
So if you desire for them to sacrifice, you should be the first person to sacrifice. If you desire for them to love, you should be modeling love.
Absolutely.
You know? So
Absolutely.
taking faith to your family is highly important. And I think it highlights the role of service as well. You know, because
talk about that.
we can't just be sitting in church, you know, but then they like, hey, we need the men to come out. We need to move some chairs. We got to do some painting.
Right.
We got to help the sick and shut in.
Right.
And you know, I'm nowhere to be found because I'm watching the game.
Right.
You know?
Real talk.
That's not proactive.
Right.
That's not proactive.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay,
Somebody
so
said taking the initiative.
what do you think about it was three ways to it's three ways to be it's a believer, it's a Christian, and then it's a disciple. Isn't that something?
Well, we were talking about them again, and that was just my opinion.
Right, that's what I'm asking.
On where it go. You know, the believer, because we're all Christians. You know what I'm saying? The believer, okay, yeah, I believe in him. Yeah, I ain't rocking nothing. The follower, okay, I'm following him, but I'm still doing what I want to do.
Dibbling and dabbling.
And then the disciple, dude, I'm gonna kill my flesh.
Right.
Yeah.
And it hurts. And I'm going to talk about Jesus, and people are going to think I'm a freak. And I'm cool with that. And we have to get through those levels. That's just my opinion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you'll find anything biblically in there on it. But, dude, I think it goes with bring the faith to your family. So be the example. They should be able to look at you and say, "Yo, that cat doing this or doing that and doing the third."
Right. I don't have an issue doing that because I see my husband doing that, or I see my father doing that.
Exactly. That's my thoughts on it.
Right. A husband is another role is he is a protector. Yeah. And he's not just a protector as in he got a gun. Somebody come in the house, you shoot them. You know, you got the baseball bat. You're knocking his kneecap off. or whatever. He is a protector of his woman's heart. Yeah. He is a protector of his of his children's heart. Yeah. He is a protection of them emotionally.
That's right.
Spiritually, he is a protector of the home. He is the house band. He is the husband. He is the band that holds everything together. Yeah. So that's what I mean. He is the protector. He's the protector of of his entire family. That's what that.
Yeah, real talk.
What do you think about that? I feel like you're tingling over there. What you think?
I think it's interesting because I think that the word that comes to my mind is the protector of the purity of the household, or substitute purity with protector of the holiness of the household. What resides in your household that you freely invite in. Are we the type of fathers that willingly just curse around our children, and it's just like F-bombs and B words, and it's like they grow up like this is normal. This is how we speak to one another. So I'm like, how dedicated are we to pursuing holiness, not just for ourselves
and protecting it,
but for the other people that are under us in the household. Again, Jerry Flowers in his in one of his latest sermons.
Big ups to Mr. Flowers.
Hey, big ups to Mr.
Man,
Flowers.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
He was like, yo, if I tell my wife, nah, that's too much cleavage. He was like, that's not me being controlling. That's me protecting the purity.
Yes.
Why would I want you to go outside and you are my wife? Of course I saw it. And all of your goods are being shown. It tells me in Proverbs to take pleasure in the wife of my youth, not the whole world. And you letting them see it. You know? So that is being a protector of the purity.
Absolutely.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it means to me.
I love it. All right, Keenan. Okay, Keenan. All right. So, and the last thing that we went over last week was the husband is a laborer. He labors. He works. He goes out. In this day and time, you do have the woman that's, you have the woman that's going to go out, or the wife that's going to go out and get the bag or whatever.
Thank y'all for that.
You do have a lot of more house husbands in this day and time, which I feel, just my opinion, I feel like that's out of order.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's out of order. So people don't agree with me, but I feel like it's out of order for a man to be.
We can agree to disagree.
For a man because I'm telling you, it says that a wife will share in her husband's labor. So how am I sharing in your labor? You at the house. You know what I mean? You taking care of the house. So I think that a man should labor outside of the home. Or unless he working online at the house or whatever, working from home or whatever, but he should definitely be laboring. I tell you that much. Because okay, so that was the last thing we went through. So again, let's do it again. We went over the husband is a leader. He is a priest of his home. He is the protector, and he is a laborer. Okay, so let's pick up today. Okay. Today we're gonna start with the husband is loyal. What's that Chris Brown song? These husbands ain't loyal. Okay, well, the husband is supposed to be loyal, okay?
True.
So Matthew 5:28 says, "But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her, in her heart."
In his heart.
In his heart.
Vice versa, too.
That is Matthew 5:28. Again, let me say it again. "But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart." I never saw that. Yeah. With her in his heart.
I think it's the version that you have.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. So the General Social Survey said that 20% of men in marriage cheat, and that men are 50% more likely to cheat than women. I wish this general cultural statistic would only apply to men who are not Christians. A lot of Christian men still carry generational cycles of unfaithfulness from their ancestors, which need to be broken in the name of Jesus Christ for them to be loyal.
Facts.
Okay?
Yeah.
What, you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
That don't shock you that 54% of men are more likely to cheat than women?
No, not at all. I think it goes back to what we were talking about. When the house band is completely broken, there is no man there, or is very loose because he's very loose, well, then it trickles down. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And what do you have training us? Okay, if we're not being trained in the word, then we being trained in the hood, in the world. And it takes a toll. It really does.
I was watching something yesterday, and a little clip, and Shaq had said that some men have to cheat. Some men are forced to cheat, and I was like, that's crazy.
How so? What was the context?
The context was that a man. Okay, so you got it was 3 different categories, but the last one was a man was. Some men are forced to cheat. Did I send that to you? Okay, yeah, I sent it to Willa, and so I was like, what do you think about this? And it was like men are forced to cheat. The last category was men are forced to cheat because they come home, they work hard, they do whatever, and then like he's saying, like a basketball player. He's on the road, he's out playing basketball, whatever.
We both looking at you like, yeah, I'm waiting.
Hold on. Yeah, and then he comes home, and the wife is like, I'm tired tonight. Okay, and so I got a headache tomorrow night, and then Wednesday night. Okay, I don't feel good. Shut up, Aaron. And then
I'm like, man, that sound like Miles.
Shut up. and then 2 weeks later, well, man, you know what? I'm just not in the mood. You know what I mean? So it's never a good time to be able to make love to your wife.
Right.
So therefore, that man, he feels like that man is forced to cheat.
Yeah, I still disagree with him.
I disagree with you. I agree with you disagreeing with you.
Yeah. Shaq, mad love for you. You know we love you, but yeah, I think that's a cop out.
But I asked my girl, I said, do you think that some men are forced to cheat? Is that a true statement? Yeah. No. So you know, nobody's forced to cheat.
Nah, nobody's forced to cheat.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Okay. It's hey, big ups to 3D Financial and Courage Girl. Hey, but we had a conversation. No, I want it. You know what I'm saying? I want that, and I'm gonna go ahead and slip up in there. I ain't forced to cheat. I forced myself to cheat. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Here's some keys to a husband staying loyal. Tell me what you guys think about this. You have to stop allowing flirting to happen to you. That's number 1. You have to stop allowing flirting to happen to you.
Okay.
The grass is not greener on the other side. You have to know that the grass is not greener on the other side. That. Don't hang out with the opposite sex alone. Mm-hmm. Avoid talking about your personal life with the opposite sex. And keep a fire in your own fireplace.
I love it. Hey, I'm going to add to that. Hey, don't brush your teeth. Don't do that one. Don't do that one.
Why not brush your teeth, babe?
I'm just saying, cats come up on you. Hey, boo. Hey, honey. Hi. It's fire.
You just blow my wig back.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay.
So, question. We got a question here. Are you flattered when a woman flirts with you?
I think most men are. You know, hey, we want to know that. Hey, man, I still got it, Jack. But at some point, you got to give it up. And there's nothing wrong with a polite, oh, thank you so much. Or
you smell good. Come here, man. You smell good.
Hey, you know what mine is?
What?
My wife picked it out. There it is. Back up.
My wife said, put it on.
Yeah.
Real talk. That's what I say when I get compliments. Because I have found that if not, I'll let it go to my head, yo. Yeah. Like,
don't let it go to your head.
Real talk.
What you think? Yeah. Are you flattered when a woman flirts with you?
It's interesting because I'm like, this literally just happened to me.
Oh, really?
I think that there is always, Paul writes in one of his letters, he's like, we make no concession, we leave no room for the flesh, and I think that those are all opportunities where the flesh wants to rise, and it's like, how far can I entertain this? How much can I flirt with the sin without actually being in sin? And I think that those are situations where we have to have the maturity to walk away from. You have to understand what you're holding out for.
Right.
I love I think it was the third point where it's like the grass is not greener. What Christ has graced me with in my wife to be, or with my wife, the time and the sweat and the tears and the vulnerability that we have poured into this, is that really worth?
Count the cost.
You got to count the cost. Is that really worth? Okay, this new person, this exciting, it's just it's a mysterious because you don't know versus what's comfortable because this is who God gave you to walk with.
Right.
I think we have to be mature about counting the cost and absolutely just staying away from those situations and rendering that to God.
Somebody
God, it made me feel good.
Somebody said, I think men enjoy the attention. Yeah, we do. And somebody said the same happens to women. Don't get it twisted. Tell your husband he's one lucky man, and that's true.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's important though in relationships to fill one another's cup. You know, so
For
it's
sure.
like
You said that. Keep the fire.
keep a fire
In your own
yeah.
fireplace.
You know, if that compliment from the person who's flirting with me is the first compliment I've heard in the last 4 months,
Man.
you know, like
So somebody said that part.
yeah, it's gonna be a little like, dang, like I enjoyed that, you know, but that's the maturity around. And even after marriage, you keep on dating. You know?
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Hey,
Keep it
someone
fire.
said 1 Corinthians 7:3-5, which discusses fulfilling each other's needs and not withholding oneself from one another. That's facts right there. And then one of the other fans said, appreciate a compliment, but don't act on it.
Sure,
Ooh-wee.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
Ooh-wee.
That's good. Babe.
Hey, I love what Kenya said about well, you said it too, babe, about that's the first you've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
And now it's like the Flint. You with the lighter.
Yeah.
Hey man, y'all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you.
Question, because this is still tailored, because this is still tailored to the men, to the husbands. Would you feel comfortable hanging? This is to the men. Would you feel comfortable hanging out with your friend's wife at any time? Are there any situations where this is acceptable?
Yeah, when you around, there it is.
Yeah.
Maybe should have been alone. Would you feel comfortable
okay.
hanging out with your friend's wife at any time? Are there any situations where this is acceptable?
Yeah,
Or that was alone? I forgot that word, that key word, alone.
no, I think it's in there.
No, it's not. I don't have it in there.
Yeah.
Alone.
Okay.
So put that alone on there. Would you
Yeah.
would you feel comfortable hanging out with
Hey.
with Terry by yourself?
Hey, I love my sisters. My sisters are beautiful, and I say, I'd rather hang around y'all. Yeah. It just
What'd you think? What'd you think?
Nah, I'm very strict around that stuff. You know, I don't give rides to women. You're not getting in my car. Like
I start thinking about not easily broken. I start thinking about not easily broken.
yeah, I'm like, you not.
Y'all
you
gotta
get
see
it.
that movie. See that movie, huh?
Take her home and take
Hey,
her
I
home.
love what somebody said. I don't think of a time I would need to be. To be honest,
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
You know, I'm like, I'm. You're not getting in my car.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put myself in situations where
Know yourself.
intimacy can be like bridged because all right, we gonna sit in silence the whole time we alone. No, we're gonna talk. You know, and then it's like all right, now you're making these concessions for the flesh.
right.
It's like dang, I never knew you like this. Hold on, this how he know you? You know, you pretty funny. I don't need to know that you're funny. You know, I'm like, I'm good. You know, I'm good.
Hey, somebody said, don't allow the opportunity for temptation. And guys, we talked about that.
You hit read?
Babe, you remember we talked about when this dude, the DOA. The
Desire,
the
opportunity,
and attention.
and attention.
Yeah. Hey, you wind up giving them that.
Yeah.
DOA.
You did on
Dead
arrival.
on arrival,
You
my
did
dude.
on
So,
arrival.
yeah,
You're
definitely
supposed to do a sermon on that.
one of these days, right?
Yeah. Is it ever okay to discuss your sex life with the opposite sex?
No.
Even if you're trying to get some advice?
Yeah, I think again, you're opening up Pandora's box. When they talking about, well, have you used the grapefruit? You know what I'm saying?
Have you grapefruited them? You just
yeah.
watched Girls Trip recently.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think you have to be very, very careful.
Very careful. So you saying no, Keenan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely no?
That's like, I think we have to acknowledge, the cultural realities where the statistics on Christian couples making it to marriage while being pure and virgins, never having experienced somebody else before. That statistic is really, really low. So we're all entering into these relationships, by the grace of God, because He's allowed us to. But I think that we're missing certain aspects of purity, where it's like that is something that God created for you to not know anything about until the night of your marriage. And you guys, it's beautiful exploring that together. But there's nowhere in there where we're talking about like, let me go seek out advice from someone else, especially the opposite sex.
Yeah.
You know,
The only possible option I would think of if it was a counselor.
Okay.
That would
I can give you that.
That would probably be it, or a pastor or something like that. Because here's what
female pastor.
No, a male to a male. Hey, or, you know,
no, but I said the question is it okay to discuss your sex life with the opposite sex?
Okay, I think even with that, it had, in my opinion, even the pastor would be out of that. Yeah. It would be a counselor that they're strategically trained in it. Now, and here's why I say that about the pastor, because I want to flip it to the other side, dude. The problem is we don't talk about this stuff in church.
Right.
So now where do we go? We go to the homies. We go to social media, and we get the world's view rather than no. God is saying A, B, and C. Yo, hang on that. Well, dude, I don't know. So all I know is what I've learned from the hood, and I think that's where we're doing a disservice to the world, the churches, by not talking about stuff that we talk about on the marriage tune-up. Right. You know? Right. It's just unfortunate, but yeah.
So we opening up a ministry, Sex 101 for newlyweds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No. Hey, you said for
newlyweds. It would be holy.
Thank you.
Know?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hey, they already, dude. That's why we try to tell them to come to the marriage sessions. Dude, you're already all in. Dude, I'm marrying her. Yeah. You know, or okay, we've been married a year. What do we do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do when, okay, you did wait, and now you haven't making love to your husband or your wife, and it ain't good. You see what I'm saying? Now we got to walk through that.
I tell y'all.
You got to tell.
I told you I had a friend that did that.
Hey, somebody said these are all gateways and they must be avoided or at least done with extreme caution. That's facts right there.
Factual. Okay, so what do you think it means when it says to keep fire in your own fireplace? What do you think that means?
Yeah, Kenan, I'll let you.
I think it's what we talked about briefly. It's continuing to date, even into marriage. You know, doing
keep the fire lit,
subtle things. You know, just showing that love and building intimacy. You know, but I think honestly, keeping the fire lit. You know, physical intimacy is beautiful. That is God's gift to married couples and things like that. Right. Emotional intimacy, where you build that kind of like that dependency of like, yo, I can depend on you. You're my partner. You are my rib. You know. But I think that one thing that we really need to prioritize is keeping your fire lit is very easily sustainable in all the other areas when you're keeping it lit spiritually. You know, like if we can read together, if we can pray together, if we can worship together, if we can serve together, these things are bonding us intimately on a deeper level than sex could ever take us. You know, so I think that that's something that a lot of our Christian couples are missing.
Yeah. I think overall the world. Hey, it's not just in the bedroom, and we discussed this a lot. No, it's the little things. Okay. The fire's lit because you make her laugh. You know what I'm saying? The fire's lit because you have a deeper conversation and so
how was your day?
How was the game? You know, those type things. The fire's lit because they see you praying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The fire's lit because what we were talking about, the proactive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, wow, babe, you went and got me a TV?
Yeah. I can't stand you right now. I cannot stand you.
You know what I'm saying? Though that's the fire staying lit. Yeah.
I think another way for the fire to stay lit is not the word is not initiate, but thinking ahead of. Yeah. What would Kay want? What would my wife want?
Anticipating.
So, anticipate. That's what I mean. Anticipation. I think that helps to keep the light lit.
Back said, don't give goodies or intimacy to anyone other than your spouse.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Period. Okay, let's go to the next one. The husband is a learner. 1 Peter 3:7. Husbands likewise dwell with them with understanding, giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Hey, man, okay, I thought you was going to say no.
Yeah. Okay, so husbands, again, likewise, dwell with them with the understanding, giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered. Yeah. It says right here, this verse is loaded with revelation for men. Mm-hmm. If we don't fulfill the petitions of our wives, it could hinder our prayers from being answered. Read that again. Wait. That's true. If we don't fulfill the petitions of our wives, it could hinder our prayers from being answered. The Bible says here that the wife is the weaker vessel, not the weak vessel.
Right.
She is the weaker vessel, not the weak vessel. The word is not weaker. The word is not weaker in the sense of less than, but the word weaker there has to do with the way you handle highly valued material. You don't treat fine china like paper plates because they break easier. The reason you handle fine china plates carefully is because of how much you value them. Yeah. A husband should value his wife like fine china. That's Dr. Tony Evans.
That's Pastor Evans.
Dr. Tony Evans. Yeah. So what do you guys think about that?
Oh, absolutely. I try to prep fellas all the time, and we've done it in many of marriage sessions. Learn your spouse. Mm-hmm. So just like you went to school, whether you graduated from just middle school or high school or college, dude, now your spouse is your client. Learn her or learn him to the best of your ability there, and that will really help you. A lot of times we when we're doing counseling, we'll tell people to take the Myers-Briggs test, mm-hmm. right? Because it's going to show what type of personality mm-hmm. your boo has. Mm-hmm. Now you switch, you read it, and you're like, oh, snap, that's why. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're able to handle it better mm-hmm. and have more knowledge on how to rock with your spouse. You know, so yeah, I agree.
It says, husbands, learn your wives. Dwell with understanding. We talked about this earlier. Dwell with understanding with your wife means you have to figure your wife out. Yeah. In the simplest of terms, understanding your wife comes down to this. If you know what bothers her, don't do it. You know what she likes, do it. Okay. Many men struggle when it comes to understanding women. Their brains are wired differently. Men are more logical. Women are more emotionally connected. Okay. Yeah. The differences between men and women. Tell me the feel. So we're gonna go. I'm going through a couple.
Hey, let me. Can we jump? Go ahead.
Go ahead. So somebody said, hey, the way you do it is date nights and purposeful engagement. Mm-hmm. Okay, Kenny was talking about that. Somebody said, try to outdo your spouse mm-hmm. in speaking and acting in their love language. Oh, I love that. Hey, this cat, Pastor Tony said what I was gonna say. I preached that sermon before. And I love that. And then somebody said wise words, emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get that. Go ahead, Kenny.
What you got, baby?
Yeah. I don't want us to take this scripture as like the husband now has to be a puppet for the wife's desires, though. No, where it's like, okay, you know, she has her needs, and of course we strive to meet those needs.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You know, but it's like at the end of the day, like I have to lead. You know, and sometimes leadership will look like sacrifice. Sometimes leadership will look like service, mm-hmm. and sometimes it'll look like, okay, we serve, not we're being served. You know, because I just don't want to. I don't want anyone to misinterpret.
No, not at all.
You know, as like, okay, yeah, husband, you got to do whatever she said.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. No. Sometimes leadership is suffering, and no, you can't have that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, why?
Because I said so? Is it ever going to be that?
I ain't gonna
say I give a better reason. We need to save. We need to save. You can't have that right now. We need to save. Yeah. You feel me? Do you want to go on this trip next year? Okay, right now, then we can't be doing all this right now. You know? Yep. So I went to that same scripture that you were at.
Okay,
I really liked
different interpretation?
I just wanted to read what my study Bible was saying. So check this out. Let me see if you guys pull any fruit from it.
Okay.
Submission is the responsibility of a Christian husband as well. Cross-reference Ephesians 5:21. Mm-hmm. Though not submitting to his wife as a leader, a believing husband must submit to the loving duty of being sensitive to the needs, fears, and feelings of his wife.
Learning.
Right? So I'm like, okay, it doesn't mean that I need to like everything is like I have to go, but it's calling me to be sensitive to them, right? Let's continue to walk it down. In other words, a Christian husband needs to subordinate his needs to hers, whether she is a Christian or not.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Hey, we are to be the example, no matter what, and it's a hard road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always steak and
What
cake.
was this?
Yeah.
It's just that ESV study right here.
I'm in the ESV too this year. This year.
That's our Bible. King got us for it.
He did.
No. Y'all only came to ESV because I was on ESV.
Somebody said, "Hey, loving the responses in the chat tonight. Let's go, keep it going." And then, so true, right? Leadership is always serving, and if we're to lead our wives, we need to serve them. I love that. Somebody said, "I love that. I need that study Bible." ESV, it's probably Zondervan.
Nah, MacArthur.
Oh, MacArthur Study Bible. Yeah.
Differences
on
between
Amazon.
differences between men and women. You guys tell me true or false.
Okay.
Women love processes. Men love goals. Women love processes. Men love goals. True or false?
I'm in the middle on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say false.
Why? Men, okay,
I
in the
do,
chat.
because I love processes as well.
Women
Yeah.
love processes. Men love goals.
I'm down with the goals, but somebody said, "Preach, Keenan." I'm down with that, but I like both, and I need both.
Yeah.
The process is going to get me to the goal, so I can't just I just want to go. No, dude.
So you saying false?
I'm
And you saying false too?
I'm not saying
It's one of the true or false?
say false.
False. Women love romance. Men love sex.
False.
Yeah, false on that.
False.
What?
Hey, dude.
You stop it right
Hey,
there, Aaron.
hey.
You do not have to have no romance. Stop it.
No, I'm not saying that I can't rock without it. I'm saying that it is needed and wanted as well. Yeah. Now, just because it's at a 5 and in me and in the ladies it's at a 9 or something like that, doesn't mean that it's not needed. That's what I'm saying. So I did disagree with that. Yeah. Hey, let me. I would love for me to come home. Ain't nobody here except you, and you in the kitchen with just the New York apron on and the red bottoms.
They never think of that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They never think of that.
And got me candlelight and babe, come on, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna sit here and have dinner, and then come on, I got the bath waiting upstairs. What? You got the bath? Yep. And guess what? Before I'm gonna massage you afterwards and.
Afterwards,
Yeah,
That's-
dude.
so New York.
No, I'm just saying, cats don't.
Yeah.
No, somebody
They
said
don't-
true.
they don't think of that.
Hey, you can't bunch them all in one category. I agree with E. So my girl. It may be different levels of priority. It's levels to this thing, man.
When processing things, women need sensitivity. Men want space.
I have to agree with
Yeah.
that. I have to agree.
True.
Hey, give me a minute before I act like what's up, boy? With the glasses, the comedian Ricky. Leave me alone,
Lil Daryl.
Lil Daryl, yeah. I'd have to agree. I need a minute to process.
You
that.
agree too?
Yeah.
That's true? Okay.
Yeah.
When stressed, women become overwhelmed and emotionally involved, while men become focused and withdrawn.
True.
Okay. Here's
When
what
stressed.
the withdrawn part.
Because you need a minute to process it.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that because I'm thinking about a stressful moment. For example, a COVID hit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, I'm not withdrawn from that. Hey, here's what we doing as a family. This what we need to do. Hey, let's get some live, bro. You see what I'm saying?
But it becomes very like focused and tunnel vision. It's like there's a lack of sensitivity because out comes the leader of just like
'cause
everything
it's
is in
needed.
order.
It's needed at that
it's
time.
needed at that time.
Yeah.
So that's why I would submit that it's true.
Yeah.
Keenan
Okay.
Keenan was the first one to get COVID at our house, and we was this is back in 2020 2021. Here you go, babe. And this cat, here you go. And this cat was like, yeah, I'm in the house like, what in the world? I'm frozen. I'm like, it's fight or flight or frozen. I froze. Aaron was like Gunny Cooper. I mean, when I tell you Gunny Cooper went into effect, that cat was like this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, good night, Keenan.
We ain't got time for
I was just like, and I was like, Kay, stop standing there. Go do this. I went and did what he told me to do. I came back and stood there again. And then he had to tell me my next order. Okay, go do this. Okay, okay. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like a little kid. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Go.
But he jumped to it like, this is what we doing. Boop, boop, boop. And I was just like, man, yeah.
Hey, somebody said true on one and false on two. True on three. Hey, big ups that y'all doing them with us there. Correct. I need sensitivity. He absolutely wants space. I agree. True, but not withdrawn. Just give me a minute. that's withdrawn, bro.
I need to withdraw for a minute. It's all right. Jesus withdrew. Jesus withdrew for a minute.
My dude right here. Doom, 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 doom. Jake Ford. Hey, men are trying to make it happen. Hey, big ups, my dude out there right now trying to make it happen.
All right.
Hey. Hey, well, back when Ice Cube wanted, but come back. Back when Ice Cube wanted. That's true though, because real talk, we'll withdraw and
don't come back.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I ain't going to get the milk though.
And never come back.
Yeah.
Women feel better by talking about the problem. Men prefer solving it.
I agree. I agree.
We want to talk about it, but y'all like, you know what? We didn't figure it out.
But here's the thing though. I have found, matter of fact, we just did it today. I have to balance that. I got to balance that. So I got to come and be like, yeah, man, come on, let's sit down and have some combo, and because if not, it's gonna eat us up. It's gonna eat
for
us.
Sure.
You know, come on, y'all know it's there. Look, it's quiet in the house. Yep. Ain't nobody talking. You know what I'm saying? You feel the temperature in the atmosphere. You're like, all right, man.
Listen.
Good night. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, come on, let's talk.
Man. It ain't good night, it's bye.
But come back.
Notice that the Bible doesn't instruct women to dwell with their husbands with understanding. It instructs the husbands. This means we as husbands have a greater responsibility to understand our wives and meet them at the point of their needs. This is how we honor our wives. Isn't that what you kind of just read and wrote?
Yeah, real talk.
So a question. Do you dwell in understanding with your wife?
Repeat that, please.
Do you dwell in understanding with your wife?
Dwell in understanding. That's interesting. That you put it like that.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on, real quick. Somebody said true solutions about AC's on 77. Stop it, Mookie. And somebody said no. I talk and seek resolution. So. Again, like Sis said earlier, you can't bunch everybody into one category because everybody's. But that one right there, do you dwell
in
understanding
with your wife?
With your wife, I try to. I think, and we teach as well, dude. The marriage is this. Yeah. And when we hear, hey, we on full understanding. Yeah, I'm getting but we have been here. Yeah. We were just here today. Like, dude, what are you talking about? You said you wanted that. I never said, dude. You said you wanted it, but now we back here like, bruh, let's keep pushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I think it's a process.
It's a process,
and it's training and it's learning, and I'm not gonna get 100% all the time.
Right.
But I think it's interesting to note, like when we talk about, marriage and how God designed it, and it's like, okay, I designed this for you to look more like me because this is a picture of our relationship.
Right.
So most of the time, the things that you have to do are going to be things that you don't want to do. So it's like us as men, I want to withdraw away from the problem because I'm frustrated, but she needs me to enter into it and be sensitive to her needs. And it's like, yo, this is
dwell in understanding.
Like this is going directly against what I want to do.
Hey, vice versa too, Keenan.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about it right now, but I'm gonna sacrifice because I know he needs a minute to process.
Yeah.
See, and I love, like you said, what God is doing. No, what you need, she has.
Yeah.
And what you need, he has.
Yeah. And it's like, and then when you come together, can you speak gracefully? So it's tough. It's really, really hard. But I think when we're talking about this dwell in understanding, Abraham was already married to Sarah. Mm-hmm. Their names were changed, but Abraham received the call. He received the order. I think to dwell in understanding is to go back to Sarah and be like, this is what I heard from God. I need you to trust me, and we have the faith to move. You know, and so like I was reading today, and I'm like, okay, like God, I'm struggling with this. I need you to speak to me in this. And I just felt the Spirit. And go to Proverbs 13, and the Spirit was boxing me up, just like conviction, conviction, conviction. And I'm like, okay, so I compiled the whole note of everything He said to me, and I texted her. I was like, yo, we need to have a conversation. And now I need to bring to you the food that God has given me.
And I need you to trust me.
I need you to trust me. And
That's
yeah,
big.
it's going to be hard.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Hey, somebody said we are growing daily in our togetherness. That's heat right there.
Yeah.
But here's one. If you do not understand her, you're not dwelling. You're visiting until she gets tired. That's a heater.
Preaching though.
That's a heater.
Like,
Preach, favor, preach. Hey, that's facts right there.
Yeah.
And it's not always gonna go the way you want, but if we believe the word, it's still gonna work together for the good.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be on the side of.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Hit it.
Why do you think God instructs the husband to dwell in understanding with the wife, and not the wife to dwell and understand with the husband?
First of all, I think it still applies to the wife, but I think because the husband is the covering, the husband is the head, the husband is the lead. And how are you going to lead anybody if you're not understanding?
But He's not asking us to dwell and understand it. He's asking us to respect the husband. He's asking us to submit to the husband. So he specifically said that the husband that for the husbands to dwell in understanding with the wife. So I don't know that He's saying that we have to do that too.
If you didn't understand me, and then you couldn't walk in that respect. You couldn't walk in trust. I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't. No, I think once we start relaying it and actually showing it, love, joy, peace, patience. Now you understand where I'm coming from. Back in the day, you dude, this cat is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. Well, guess what? There was havoc everywhere, right? Now it's like, nah, this dude is trying to walk with the Lord. I'm not saying he's trying. I understand that. I got to rock with him. The respect comes. Does that make sense?
Right.
I think it also speaks to the gentleness in which we're supposed to present these things to our women. Because I think like when we look at our perfect model, Jesus Christ, when He's dwelling and understanding with the disciples, and He's like, yo, I'm giving you commands, and I'm sending you out to do missionary trips and to go and make disciples. He's telling them gently. So I think it's like it's working on our communication of Pastor Max always says, man, Pastor Max, that's my guy. He's always saying that it's not just your job to get it off your chest, but it's your job to speak in a way where you get it off your chest, but into their heart.
Help us with that.
So
help me with that.
I need to dwell in understanding by coming to you. You can't understand if I come to you like, this is what we doing.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, I can't misuse my role, but I have to come in the spirit of gentleness and be like, this is what I am hearing from God. This is the direction that we're moving.
Love it. Love it. And I want to add to that with the dwell and understanding. Hey, hang on real quick. So, some folks said, speaking gracefully, when the belief that there will ultimately be resolution is present. Somebody else said, maybe God didn't directly say we needed to understand our husbands because we do that naturally. Women naturally try to understand their husbands and children just by nature. I'm not mad at that.
That's
I love that. Okay,
I agree.
We can put that. Kind of like the scriptures about men loving their wives and wives respecting their husbands.
That's coming up.
Okay, and I miss one because if I'm the leader, her well-being is my responsibility on all levels, i.e., emotionally, spiritually, relationally, and physically. Yeah, and then here's another. The gentleness gets lost with years together. Need to give back, I'm sure she meant get back to the basics. That is facts right there. So true. Yeah.
Did you want to say? You got something? Okay,
no, let's run. We got 10 minutes. I want to, but
because I don't even see it. Look, I don't even.
Hey, somebody said, how do we engage with each other? How did we engage with each other in the beginning? Yeah, get back to that. That's real talk. I want that
the last role is the husband is a lover.
Yeah.
The husband is a lover. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. Okay? That's Ephesians 5:25. 5 ways to make your wife feel love. Buy her, number 1, buy her flowers and gifts. Spend time. I think these are the 5 love languages, actually. Buy her flowers or gifts. Spend time with her. Do house chores. Physically touch her without initiating sex, and compliment her. Those are the 5 love languages, just different.
I would add, pray over her.
Absolutely. That knows she loved. That's no she
pray
loved.
over her. You know.
Okay. Here's what research says.
Interesting.
Any love that does not involve giving is not biblical. What do y'all think? Boom, right there. Let's just stop right there.
That's a hitter.
Any love that does not involve giving is not biblical. It doesn't have to always or only be flowers. It is the thought that counts. When I say spend time with your wife, I do not mean while both are watching a movie together. God no.
I ain't mad at that though.
How a man feels he has spent time with his wife is through shared activity. The way wives feel connected to their husbands is not through doing a shared activity, but a wife needs uninterrupted quality time where her husband asks her the following questions. Like, babe, how was your day? If your wife says it was fine, delve deeper. Can you unpack that thought for me? Asking questions like that. How did that make you feel? Really? Why did that make you feel like that? Go deeper than just how was your day? Good. Yeah. Okay, you back to the game. That doesn't make you make a wife feel loved.
Hey, I think, but now notice the key word you said. You back to the game. Hey, I think that's a part of the understanding. Okay, my husband is watching Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Maybe it ain't the right time to ask, hey, how was your day? You know what I'm saying? That type thing. Mm-hmm. So I think filling out. But hey, I want to go back real quick, babe, too, because you said there were 5 things. But I love what big ups to R.A. Vernon. Pastor R.A. Vernon said, okay, yeah, I agree. 5 ways to make your wife feel loved.
Sure.
But he said, hey, he goes further. Wine her, dine her, laugh with her, comfort her, console her, cuddle with her, hold her, compliment her, call her, surprise her, listen to her, cry with her, romance her, encourage her, believe in her, pray with her, pray for her, shop with her, give her jewelry, buy her flowers, hold her hand, give her love letters, go to the ends of the earth for her, die for her 2 times. That's the women. Hey, but
that's how she.
Here's the man. You want to know how you love a man, ladies? Show up naked, bring chicken wings, don't block the TV. There it is. There it is. Yeah. That's it. It's the truth, right? Is it not, dude? So, dude, you talk. I'm tied into, bro. Come on,
that's
man.
Crazy.
Game 7 is on, and you want to ask me how my day is?
That's how I said. Don't block the TV. So show up naked.
Bring chicken wings.
And don't block the TV.
Don't block the TV.
That's it.
Ding, ding.
And you feel loved?
Hallelujah.
That's how a man feels loved?
Facts.
Man.
Dude.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay.
Real talk.
Okay.
Hey, somebody say yes. Facts. I'm sure she meant to yours. Especially if she's clearly upset or emotional or a sensitive subject. Yeah. A lot of women, sensitive subject. Yeah. Wow, babe, I'm sorry that happened. How did that make you feel? What can I do for you? Real talk. Real talk. I love that.
Yes.
Because I need to work on it. Because here's what I'll say. You want me to listen or you want me to fix it?
For real. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I need to give it a little bit more fluff.
Yeah.
And fluff.
Yeah.
You mean listen?
You listen or you want to fix it? Yeah. No, and sometimes it's you want me to fix it. It ain't even want me to listen.
No, other times it's I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
There you go. It's done. It's fixed.
Okay. So So this is to the husbands. Not to y'all. This is to the listeners.
We got 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh.
Would your wife say you love her the way she wants to be loved, or the way you want to love, or the way you want to be loved? That's to the husbands. Would your wife say that you love her the way she wants to be loved, or the way you want to be loved?
Love it.
Okay.
Hey, real quick. I love this. Somebody said, I wish I would have had that advice about men 18 years ago, but I'm starting now. got to get one of them aprons. Laugh out loud. Hey, you got one. You got a TMTU apron. Real talk. So put it on. Yeah. But Kenny, you want to answer that one?
Which one, dude?
Would you love your wife? Okay, well, would your girl say you love her the way she wants to be loved, or would your fiance, or the way you want to love?
So are you speaking her love language, or you speaking
your love
language,
enforcing it on her?
She's watching this too.
Facts.
So I'm gonna I would say that I strive. Let me take the humble route. Mm-hmm. I strive to love her in the way that she wants to be loved.
Okay.
Hey, somebody said that part. Wish I had known a whole lot. Hey, guess what? I'm raising my hand too. Damn. But facts right there. Yeah. I'm not trying to toot my own horn because I think, like what Fam just said. Wish I had known more. I've learned now. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, not so much. Running through the glass house, bull like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's like I try to anticipate. And have I arrived? Am I there? By no means, but I think I'm better than what I used to be. If that makes sense, you know.
Right. Yeah. Right. One last question, then I'm gonna start something, and then we're gonna save it for next time. Okay. Describe the last act, to the husbands again. Describe the last act you committed to show your wife you loved her. Or your girl. Describe the last act you committed. All the husbands on here, all the men on here, I want you to say, put it in the chat. Yeah. Describe the last act you committed to show your wife you love her. All the men on here.
For me, it would be... I listened. You know, you can't have that selective listening. You got to have that all in. I listened and anticipated and got you a gift.
You did.
Yeah. I didn't know it. Yeah.
I would want to go. I would want to go with a big one, but I would say that if we're just sticking to the question, the last act. I would say that I apologize.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's big.
That's good.
I apologize.
That's good.
Yeah. Someone said, my wife just said, love her the way my wife just said I would love her the way I want to be loved. Okay. Somebody said, men have to know the way the woman wants to be loved. Sometimes the effort is all they have, no matter how little, yet it fails to meet continually. Fails to meet what truly makes her feel loved. Okay. So he's doing things, but it ain't
what she needs to feel loved.
So really, it ain't her love language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love. Somebody said we both have to have work to do. That would be me too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, real quick, you guys. So again, I was telling you guys. So those are the roles. We finished loyal, learner, and lover. So a husband is a learner.
Leader.
I mean, so all of them. He's a leader. Yeah. He's a priest of his home. He's a protector. He is a provider.
A learner, provider, yeah.
He's a learner. He's loyal. And he is a lover.
We can keep going. Lover.
He's a lover.
Hey, guess what? You brothers, you are a nurturer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be the doctor, the lawyer, the psychologist. You need to be all of that as well. Yes, indeed.
So I want to tell you guys really quick, and then we're going to come back. So for August, the first Tuesday in August, we're going to come back. So for this one, and I'm glad I already have the stuff done. Okay. So like I was telling you guys at the beginning of the show that last week I jumped on my girlfriend's podcast. She's on here now. Her name is Nisha Elliott. Subscribe to her channel. It is the Mrs. His. Look up Mrs. His. And that's her podcast. It's a wives group that she has every last Tuesday of the month. So you guys can jump on there. But we Terry and I were able to jump on the last 10 minutes of her podcast last week. And she had Dr. Joshua. What's Joshua's last name?
Big Josh. Love you, bro.
Huh? Goins. She had Dr. Joshua Goins on there. And he was talking about husbands would like for their wives to be soft. SOFT. And so he had an acronym for the word soft. Because I'm like, why do you want your wife to be soft? You know, whatever. But he had an acronym for soft. And that acronym, I'm going to leave you with the acronym right now. And then we're going to come back and the first Tuesday in August. And
Come back.
And we're gonna dissect this, and we got some really good stuff on for this. But soft, it is S is for serve. Husbands want to be served. Wives, we should be serving our husbands. The O is for obey. Husbands want their wives to obey. If it sounds better, submit. Submit. Obey and submit kind of ride. They ride in the same car. So obey. It does.
I'm not sure.
Obey and submit because you coming under submitting. Submarine.
I ain't putting no taco sauce on it.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. And then the F is for feminine energy. Feminine energy. So a man wants. He don't want to.
What? I'll beat you up. What?
Yeah. Like Bishop always says, if your man can beat you up, that might be. If your wife can beat you up, that could be a problem. But so feminine energy, and the last one is trust. The T is for trust the process. So soft, you got serve, obey, feminine energy, and trust the process.
Somebody said, live in your feminine power. Real talk.
So,
hey, maybe we can probably try to get Dr. Josh on here.
Yeah, that would be good.
Try
Try to get him to come on here and talk about that next time.
I'll
work on that. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. See if I can get him to come on here.
All right, you think you think we can do the Zoom with him? Yeah, we can do something like that.
We try to see if we can get him on here. But yeah, that would be great. I'll see if I can.
801.
But that is our show. So those are the roles of a husband. We continued from last week. And again, we will be coming back the first Tuesday in August, and we'll be talking about what it means to be soft.
Real talk.
Okay?
Hey, love y'all. Peace. And
not so, but bye.
Yeah.
Woke up, still smiling, sun shining, feel fine, and yo, it's one person I got to thank. And no, it ain't your mama or your Uncle Hank, it's Jesus, the one that'll get you going, keep you flowing high, you already know, and he'll lift you up, pick you up, get you up, he'll set you up in a light with less strife, that's just right, with pure love, and more light as long as you live it, but he got you, and now that you free, what's the plan for you? You better get him, let him, live him, kiss him, miss him, bug him, hug him, love him, and please stop talking this, that, and the third, and just focus on God in his word, cause I'm lit, I'm free, the light I see, switch it up, I'm lit, I see, the light, I'm free, old school,